You're listening to One of a Kind Milwaukee podcast. I'm Angela, your host. And on today's episode, we're just going to shoot the breeze. We really are. Honestly, if you've listened to the past two episodes for July, you know it's been busy. The concept of, we're going to call it Wisconsin, Milwaukee summer can be overwhelming to say the least, because there's just so much happening and going on. Let me add more to your plate for that. So basically, there's some events I'm really excited for. Some I can go to, some I can't go to, but I just want to share about them and have just another little episode for you. This will be a short one, this will be a quick one, but I feel like I always say that and then I ramble. So I hope you've been doing well and managing however you choose to have your summer. And they're hitting up, the things that you want to do and stuff like that. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with an event that I'm so stoked. Technically, it's not this summer, but I know that the ticket sales are launching on July 24th, and they do expect to sell out and potentially a lot quicker than the first event because of how great the first one was. And, people now know what to expect because there's been photos and videos and, attendee experiences from it. So that is going to be the Storyhill Firehouse Cake Potluck. I was not able to attend this potluck. I am definitely hoping to attend the event, and it's going to be on September 7th from 12 to 2. Basically, you get your tickets. You can get them from Storyhill Firehouse on their, they have an Eventbrite page, or you can go to their main page. It's posted on their Insta, Facebook, etc. But for a $25 ticket, you show up with a cake, and then you are given a pizza box, and it's timed rounds. And then you fill that pizza box with other sweets that people brought in. I think it's super fun, super cool. Some people made some gorgeous items last time, and just so neat. So neat. And I think it's great that they are doing it again. So like I said, those tickets go on sale. Literally, they are posting the time, date. So that's July 24th, 8 a.m. Okay, so if you want to get in on that, get in on it, because I think that they're gonna get sucked up. So while it's not a summer event, the ticket purchasing is a summer event. But they have some fun stuff happening this summer too. They do a summer market, a vendor market, and that's taking place August 16th. And it's free to go to the market, rain or shine event, and the outside space, because they have vendors inside and outside. The outside space is pup friendly, which is nice, and there's going to be over 30 local vendors, and it's a really neat space if you haven't checked out the building space. When we were there last, I took my parents with me, and then we met up my cousin and my aunt, and we actually toured the full space, and it's super neat. So if you're looking for a fun, unique venue as well, you can rent it for a venue too. So, but they've also have reality shows. I can't say I don't watch them anymore, because there's a few that I watch. Below Deck, love. I don't know what it is. Just love that show. All the different variants. So that's a reality show, right? Learned a lot about boats, and I need a big vessel so I don't feel the waves, or not on a lake. I would probably struggle on any of those. Horrible seasickness, sea lights. River, fine. Rivers I can do. Rivers, cool beans. I've even gotten motion sick on my paddleboard. The first time I went out for the season, from like the other boats making such bad waves. And yeah, so, but they are doing, if Love Island's your jam, which I know a lot of people are really into, and there is a dress code island vibe, so we love it. We love a dress code. We love a theme. And they're hosting a reunion watch party on August 25th at 9 p.m. It's free entry. And then they're gonna have like themed cocktails and all sorts. So a good time. Maybe even though I will be in Miami. I was gonna say I could go just for the fun of a theme, you know, and to just see the culture of Love Island because man, people are really talking about it. So if that's your jam, they've got that going on, and um, yeah, just they have a bunch of programs in the fall too. I really love what they've been doing. The speed dating, if you missed out on the speed dating, they are bringing that back for September. And there's 3 age categories this time. I believe last time they had 2. So there's a 30 to 50s, 40 to 60s, and 25 to 40 for age ranges for their speed dating program. So check those out on the website for the specific dates. But I think that that's super cool. We partnered and gave away tickets to the last one. Like I said, the ticket purchasing is an event in itself because they do expect them to sell fast. So it looks so fun. I knew someone that went and they said it was an absolute blast. So that's on my list to get those tickets. For July still, this weekend was fun. I just went to, I'm recording this after having attended the Art Fest that I talked about in previous episode this month. And I actually wore a different piece for the fashion show experience that I was in. And so that was really neat to have a different, piece to wear from one of the designers from the Bold Fashion Show. I'm really hoping I can do next year's fashion show. It's going to depend on the date because I do already have something, yes, over a year in advance docketed on the calendar. So I need to, she's still unsure on the date. It'll be in June again, and it'll either be the 18th, 19th, or 20th. And yeah, so it was really, Art Fest is awesome. So my parents, they were able to come this time, and I got to backseat passenger princess it and sleep the whole ride, which was great, considering I was on like 3 hours of sleep. But I had to be there early, for try on and like a, strategic planning meeting. And so they dropped me off at the one location, and then they enjoyed the festival themselves, and then, saw the show, and then we actually stayed a little bit so I could enjoy some of the fest. But there were some really neat, amazing, beautiful art vendors, of course, music, and a whole interactive zone, which I freaking loved. That's actually where our show was set up. It was in the interactive experience area. But I made this adorable easel that had these 3D pieces. You could also make an easel that you could actually draw onto, but I thought it was kind of cool to have the 3D printed, like it's like little paint palette onto the canvas. And then if you wanted, you could get a laser cut, laser engraved wood piece with your name on it. And of course I did the one of a kind Milwaukee, like one of a kind MKE for the back. Just so cute, so fun. They had an interactive mosaic tile piece, which is actually going to turn into a planter for the downtown area. So like a community built planter. So fun. There was some other things. They had like a rock painting station, and I forget what it's called, but like where you do, it's like shadow art almost. Like it works with the sun. We weren't able to do it because it needed to dry, and so it would be like 40 minutes or so. Which we did end up being there for like another 40 minutes, so we would have been fine. But we enjoyed some food. I got a Korean potato corn dog. hot dogs. It was so delicious. I haven't had one of those in a while. And my mom tried all three flavors of the Dole Whip, strawberry, pineapple, and orange. She really liked those. And they came with a cute little umbrella in them. And yeah, it was just super, super neat. I ended up going home with a burnt engraved baseball cap, which was gorgeous. Really pretty royal blue, and it has, I think it's what is the flower? Lily of the Valley on it. And they are like a water, like they're already like treated for waterproof and all that kind of stuff. So I'll have a picture posted like with it and a whole little experience reel. But this is an event they do every year. It's a Saturday, Sunday event. But I plan on going again next year. Like, it's so fun. Like, we don't have something similar to that in Milwaukee, I feel, with that whole like experience zone. And I liked that it was not just a zone for the kiddos. Like, they were encouraging adults to take part in the art, which maybe there's an event here in Milwaukee, and if there is, tell me that's similar. But I feel like we have, like, if you've ever been to like the Mount Mary art show that they used to do, like the starving artist event, I think is what it was. I used to go with my grandma um, for a couple of years in a row. They did it on the lawn, similar to that, and then the concept of the vendors, right? Amazing, gorgeous art that you just really wish you could afford, but you never could. But there's obviously people that can, kind of thing. But it's just still really cool to look at it. Like it's kind of like a mixture of like a museum experience slash of shopping vendor experience. So reminded me of that, but we're talking much larger scale. And then it had those interactive pieces, and it had, there was technically three stages with um entertainment. The stage where our show was on was like the experience tent. And so later on in the day, for example, when we had were in that zone, someone was showing, it was really cool. It was a setup that I used to use when I taught cooking classes at I think it was Glendale Rec. I did a class or two there, and they had like, the table. I think they had one at East too, but I didn't frequently use it because I just didn't. But where it's a table with like the mirror over it, so that way you can see what someone's doing like on the table. But she was showing how her art, and she did wood burning, and she was kind of doing a demo for it. So it was kind of cool, like just like a really neat program. So way to go, Green Bay on the Art Fest. Super, super cool. So like I said, it's an annual event, so you could save it for next year on your docket. And that's what I came from today. And while you're listening to this past weekend. But anywho, another upcoming event that I'm super stoked for. If you're on the socials, you saw I got to be behind the scenes for the promo for this upcoming event. And it's the Bitches Dream House Lake Mansion Party. So I went to an ILHB party, like the very first one. It was like a Galentine's concept, right? And I thought it was totally going to be a one-off. And stoked since there has been two other events, unfortunately I wasn't able to go. I am 80% certain I can make my way to the Lake House Mansion Party, but it is going to be fun vibes. It's on a Sunday, but you know what? It's from 2 to 9. There's going to be DJs, all girl lineup like all girl DJs. If you want to swim in the water, go swim in the water. So pack a suit, wear a suit. You'll get some cute pics. She'll be selling her merch. She's gonna have like bikini tops and gorgeous towels. Tickets are $30, which is not bad at all for just a stunning, party on the lake. I mean, come on, it's in Oconomowoc. It's not too far from Milwaukee area, and it's gonna be, I think, a stunning, stunning, stunning day. It's an all pink theme, giving Barbie Dream House vibes. And I have posted some of the behind the scenes on it, so you can kind of see a bit of the property and stuff like that. That will be set up for it. But I think it's going to be super cool. I'm also super stoked because I'm going to have an episode with Cece, who is the vision behind uh, ILHB. So that is coming up, and we're going to dive deep into her business, her brand, because her branding is top notch, and what's to come. So very stoked to check that out, and you should check it out too. Tickets, you can find a link in her Instagram bio or the One of a Kind Milwaukee bio as well. I linked it onto my link tree. Something I'm also looking forward to this summer that I finally got on the summer list is the Bristol Renaissance Fair. So I have yet to go to our Wisconsin Ren Fair. I have been to the Maryland Ren Fair. But I haven't gone to ours. And so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Fun fact, so for tickets, Menards sells discounted tickets. You just go pick up at your local Menards. You go to like the customer service area and you can get your Run Fair tickets for $4 cheaper before taxes and fees, but I don't know if the taxes and fees are just isn't as much when you go to Menards, so it might be more than a $4 savings, but worth it because there's Menards all over the place. So, just pop in, grab your ticks, and call it a day. And super duper looking forward to checking out the Ren Fair. It just opened in July, so it has a relatively small season because it's only July 5th through September 1st. So it makes sense that it's been hard to get into the Ren Fair. Weekend I'm going, I'm sorry, I'm looking at their website. I'm cheating. I have my laptop on my lap. The weekend I'm going, I decided I was gonna do like a woodland fairy theme. It's cottagecore weekend. Yeah. So how perfect? Like that's like a perfect. I must have known somehow. I must have known. Yeah. They've got yeah, oh my gosh. So they've got a bunch of different things happening, like maypole dancing, and there's a cozy crawl. Uh Lord of the Rings trivia challenge, toadstool time, and a fairy frolic drum jam. Too funny, but it looks like almost each weekend kind of has a different theme, so check it out. In August, the first weekend in August is Pirate Weekend, and then you've got the second weekend is RenCon, which is like a cosplay celebration. But no, I think I'm very excited to finally check it out. I'm going with my friend and her girlies, and it should be a wonderful time. And yeah, very, very excited to finally check it out. Another thing that's on my to-do for summer, I'm just playing it by ear though. However, there's only a couple dates left, is I saw a sign about it. The Brews and Blooms. I feel like we have a lot of really nice like outdoor concerts at like different parks and stuff like that. But this one, it's its second year and it's hosted in the Victorian Gardens at the Neil and Walker House. And I mean, last time I've been to the Neil and Walker House, I think technically I did a choir concert or something there in like middle school, high school or something, probably middle school. But what I fondly remember is when we went there, I think it was like, oh my gosh, like third grade or something, maybe. And we did like a blast from the past kind of, event, where we'd like dressed up and we had like school and everything. While we're there, I don't know if they do that anymore, but it was super like fun and I don't know, just like one of those like memory things. Plus, obviously, I enjoy dressing up in themes at a young age because things like that stand out to me until this day. So they on their website you can see they have different, it's like more indie style music, which I really like too, for because who doesn't love indie music. So that's fun. And this is something that I'm just gonna push because I think she's an awesome artist. Coming to the rave, I haven't been to a rave concert since last year. Right? Yeah, since last year. Tanner Adele is finally making her way here to freaking Milwaukee. Tanner Adele is finally here. She is finally coming to Milwaukee. Now, I have been listening to her music for 2 years, almost 2 years, I feel, year and a half. Last summer, I was really hoping she would make it because I'm like, oh, the rave is like the perfect venue for her. But she was touring, but she didn't come close to, I think the closest she got was like Ohio or Minnesota or something. And I was like, so she's actually performing with Lollapalooza. And while doing that, she is coming here to the rave and uh super stoked to see her perform because she also just came out with new music. So I'm curious if I'm sure a few songs are on her set. And I just love a rave concert. Plus there's air conditioning now. When did that get added? Because I can tell you last summer there was not air conditioning. We were sweating our balls off. Okay. Like, ooh, we were sweating in there. So thank you, Rave, for getting air conditioning. Love a rave concert. And I like standing. I have yet to do the VIP balcony where you can sit kind of thing. That is something that I appreciate and love about the rave is that like the community of just being together during a concert. I can handle that crowd. That kind of crowd I can handle. Jerks in the crowd, no. No, 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 no. Not that. But it's far and few between that happens. I feel like it's in every other and it lasts it's short lived. This is in July also. So Nova Catering and Events, love working with them. They're amazing to work with. If you need a caterer, highly recommend. I have a few reels, I believe, on the gram, but they are doing a charity event that they are kicking off on July 30th, and I'm super stoked to go and support. Love raffle prizes. Love a raffle. So gonna get myself some raffle tickets, but they're hosting it it's in Elm Grove at a place called Wine Down, which I haven't heard of before. So also excited to check out a new to me kind of place, but you can get a ticket if on Eventbrite, on their Eventbrite page. So an RSVP is recommended but not required. So I'm sure they're trying to gauge it so they can figure out kind of like how many people are going to be there. But they are doing an LLS Executive Challenge at Wine Down, and there's gonna be food, drinks, connection to support the cause, and a portion of the proceeds are gonna benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So they're gonna have raffles and more. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love raffles? Who doesn't love a good charity event? The LLS, in case you're wondering, is the world's largest voluntary health organization dedicated to funding research, finding cures, and ensuring access to treatment for blood cancer patients. And that is so what they're raising funds for. So you can also donate directly onto the webpage. They have a donate link. Maybe you can't make it, but you'd like to donate towards their efforts, you can do so. It should be a cool night. So excited to check that out. And then of course the final thing coming up. There's obviously more, but on my mind, I think I said that the last one was, but the state fair. So looking forward to the state fair. Stay tuned. I plan on going, unfortunately, towards the end, more towards the middle of the fair, but you can expect content earlier than that because I'll be there the first weekend working the Wisconsin Grilled Cheese and the Products Pavilion. And I plan on doing a little reel if I can to show you how what it's all about back there. It's always just a fun. I've been doing it for I think like just over 10 years at this point, and I enjoy it. You know, it's kind of a family affair. My dad's actually the AM shift manager now, second year going on that. He loves it so much he takes off the whole, his whole week of work to go and, does vacation and then works the fair. I think a good amount of people do that actually. But just good times. And I'm gonna go early AM then on the first Wednesday of the fair. So it is kind of halfway through because the fair starts on a Thursday. So, but stay tuned for some updates. Excited to try some drinkies, some sporkies, that kind of thing. And we'll, do a little recap reel with that. And I mentioned in my last previously done episode and my little random Instagram, Facebook reel only episode, if you will, that I've been doing a lot of reading. I just read a book in 4 days. Holy smokes. Normal people haven't done that. Haven't done that in a hot minute. Now I tried it. It's a Hulu. It's also on Hulu. It got turned into a Hulu shoe. And I'm not sure about the show thus far, but isn't that always the case, right? The movie 4 days. That's quite a. It's not like a big book. It took a little adjusting too because there's no quotations, but nothing that wasn't figured out by the first chapter. But if you're super into reading, I don't believe I mentioned this previously, but Half Price Books, amazing place to go get your books, right? Help books not end up in the landfills and stuff like that. But they are doing a summer reading challenge. You can still get in on it because it's due, like you turn it in between August 1st and 18th, and it gets you 10% off your sales during that time. But they have a cute little adult book lover bingo card for you to fill out. Okay, let's fill out the bingo card so far. Let's see if I got a bingo yet. So, okay. Free space. All right. A book you loved as a child. Nope, I didn't read that. A New York best-selling Times bestseller. I don't think anything I've read has been that, so I'm not going to mark that. Something your friend recommends. So technically, the book I just read was recommended by a friend that I call it a line friend, a friend in a line. At the opening of The Red Damsel, she recommended it. I had it in my hand and I was just reading the back cover, and she was like, "It's a really good book. You should read that." So I'm gonna mark that. An LGBTQIA author. Yep, I've read one of those this summer on a rainy day. Heck yeah, best time to read a book. A book over 3 pages. Yep. Wolfsong. And I went through that book quickly. Something adapted for a movie or TV. Just that's what I just finished. Still no bingo. A previously unfinished book. No. I have a really hard time. There are quite a few books that I have not finished. And I do have a hard time giving them a try again. And I think part of it is a narcolepsy issue. Part of it is sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I'm really just on to this book. It's probably happened like me, like, oh, no, a play, no, your favorite book again. I don't know if I could read a book again necessarily. Talk about it. Maybe do I don't know. Just same with movies. I can't in shows can't rewatch. Classic novel, nope. A book set where you want to travel. No, that would no. The start of a new series, yes. So again, Wolfsong. Wolfsong is helping me get a few of these off here. Something outside your comfort zone. I don't know. I've been reading some romance. The Saltwater Curse was a little out there, but I'm not gonna mark that necessarily. Um, on a sunny day, oh yeah, best time to read a book. Something you picked for the title, song, and the cover. It's gorgeous. A biopic author? No. Something published the year you were born. Oh, nope, definitely not. A book set in summer. Like book set in summer. Like what? Like for the whole duration of the book? Something you can finish in a day. Not a day. And a book under 150. Nope. So I need to, in order to get a bingo, I need to read a book I loved as a child and a book under 150. That would give me a bingo. or read a book I loved as a child and a New York Times bestseller to get a bingo, or a biography and something outside a comfort zone to get a bingo. So the that's just to have two things. I'm gonna say the easiest one for me is probably gonna be I'm because the book I'm on, I think I'm gonna have to do a book under 150 and a book you loved as a child because my current reading pace has me at about 10 days a book, roughly, minus the one I just read. And I just picked up a pretty hefty one. So I don't think I'm gonna finish it really like my last one. I may have done a New York Times bestseller though. So I gotta double check my books that I've read and see if they're on a list. I've also been listening to audiobooks, so I can do an audiobook and like a regular book at a time because surprisingly, I with my narcolepsy managed quite well with audiobooks in the car. And the other day I actually just on Friday I took my bike out to Economalock for that shoot and I needed my wireless earbuds in so I could have GPS because I'm like me remembering these instructions to get there is kind of impossible, even though it wasn't that many, but I definitely would have been kind of screwed towards the end getting closer to the house. And so I put my, wireless buds in so I could get the GPS instructions because I have a phone holder that I broke last year and I just haven't replaced it. Plus, it's making me nervous still on the motorcycle and just the bouncing sometimes. Sometimes you hit a good thing and I literally fly off the seat. So, but anywho, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put my audiobook on because I can like just hear it enough and I can still hear everything around me. Like it was not messing with my sound at all. So that was really nice because it was, a good 40-minute ride each way. So I kicked in a good amount on that book. And sometimes if I'm in a really good spot, like when I'm driving home from work, if I choose to listen to my book instead of just music, uh I end up keeping my headphone. I switch from the car and then I put my headphones on when I get into the house to listen to the book and like we'll do dishes and get the dogs ready for dinner and stuff. Also listening to the book until it's at a point where I feel like I can pause. So yeah, I have been enjoying that. However, oh my goodness gracious. So right now I'm listening to Crave and it's also the like graphic novel, which just means it's this like brand for the audiobooks, which give it a like full cast and like music is in the background and fire crackling, like sound effects and stuff like that. It very is like when it starts off the audio book, it's like graphic novels, like a a book for your a movie for your mind or something like that. I don't know. So they have a good catchphrase that I'm currently not remembering, and it's in this very, you know, intense voice. But I accidentally, oh my goodness, I was listening to my book while I was on a walk at work. I was delivering some stuff across buildings. So I had a good little mile walk that I just chose to do that versus like inner officing the mail because I also hadn't taken a break yet. And I ended up like like switching the headphones in a in the lobby, and the book just went full volume, full volume on my phone for everyone to hear. And this book, it's a romance, but I think is Crave technically YA? It's a series um by Tracy Wolff. It's got quite a few books. Um, 6 to be exact. But what is it considered? Yeah, it's YA. It's fantasy. I don't know. if it's actually considered, I would put it under a YA romance, honestly, currently. It's good. I like it. I also just love the cover art. I'm a stickler. I like cover art just gets me. But she was like describing she had just arrived at the school. This isn't like any type of spoiler or anything. So, because I had just kind of started the book that I think that morning actually. And she's describing like the cute boy, but more like this sexy cute boy. And it was like his jawline, blah blah blah, with his red lips. And I was just absolutely mortified, embarrassed. I basically, because then I couldn't get it to stop. And she's just scrapping it. Like it wasn't anything like racy, Because there's definitely in some of those romance books, like listen to the Sarah Maas books, and whew, if some of those parts would have gone on my phone loud. Um, because these are some descriptive writers, okay? And I was just, oh my gosh, I put my head down and I just tried running out of there and I couldn't get the thing to stop. Like I'm putting the volume down and it's not going down. Oh my goodness. Needless to say, if you're listening to an audiobook, just get rid of the app. Like close that app screen out completely, do the swipe to avoid any potential future embarrassment. Did anybody notice? I don't know because of how quick I kind of got out of there with my head down. Down. Yep. So I learned my lesson with that. But it's actually a really, really good book so far. I'm almost halfway through it because of the audio. I don't know that I would obviously get through it as quick because the audiobook it's done in two parts when it's the graphic novel. And they are 7 hours a piece, I think. Yeah. So if you can go on their website if you're like, ooh, that sounds interesting. It really is a movie. At sometimes like kind of forget that it's actually a book that I'm listening to and not a show that I'm watching because I love a good fantasy. It really is a really immersive experience with it having the different cast members and totally different because Libby did not have like that version available, but the other like standard one was available for one of the books in the series. And I still had the other one trying to wait on hold, but I started listening to like the regular audiobook for it, and it was not the same. It was so not the same because they try to do voices sometimes, some of the audio narrators, but the graphic audio brand books. Oh, it's a movie in your mind. That's their tagline. You can go to their website and you can see all the books that they have on there based on genre or new releases or series and stuff like that. It really comes to life. Like it totally comes to life. I mean, there's a good number of books. Fourth Wing? That sounds familiar. But anyways, check it out because it is really cool. It is a really, really neat experience. You can also get the books like directly from their page. Like if you are someone that likes to buy your audiobooks, I use Libby and just wait it out and hope that they come in the order needed for checking out usually, or it usually works out, So highly recommend that app. But again, this ended up being a much longer episode than planned, but just a little update on some cool events coming up. Haven't done that in a while, I feel, and things to check out, but I will be back. The next episode will be in August, and there will be kind of you know what, I'll try and do a little state fair episode if I can, for some recaps of things, or like a mix, maybe a mix of a before and after, and I can probably get that out quickly, turned around. And then I look forward to having the interview with Cece from ILHB. Very, very looking forward to that interview. And then I'm traveling. So I'll be sharing some of my out of state travels, I think, for sure on socials, and probably recapping upon my return for sure. Even though it's not Milwaukee, I think I recapped the event that I'm going to last time too, because it was super neat. Learned a lot of fun things, cool things, and we got a girls' weekend. We're in the workings, yeah, those are kind of the things coming up. Also, we'll be working with a few other businesses, of course, as well in late summer, early fall, and I'll recapping those, doing some interviews with those. So stay tuned and